What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about Lucid. I want to go over some of the data points, what's moving it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So Lucid's down 5.2%, 21.30 the low, 22.30 the high, and fairly low volume. So 5 million shares being traded, 11.8 is the average. Nothing official from Lucid, no SEC filings, no press releases. What caused a lot of fear first thing in the broader market was Powell. So going into his speech early this morning, I think people were fearful about what he was going to say, but turns out he didn't say anything. He didn't address monetary policy whatsoever. So he causes damage if he speaks, he causes damage if he doesn't speak. So it's kind of comical, but I think generally based on the FOMC minutes from yesterday, there was a good understanding that a lot of the members want multiple cuts for the next couple of meetings. I think that's what the market truly did want to hear from Powell. So the fact that he didn't say anything caused just people to be unsatisfied and caused all of this. At the same time, there's one thing that is kind of affecting Tesla that's trickling down to other EVs, especially Lucid. And so when it comes down to this right here, it looks like full self-driving is under investigation. And of course, with the big announcement with Uber, that's where Lucid's going. So again, this is why Lucid's getting hit a little bit more than other EVs because this type of fear is trickling down. One thing actually did come out. It's rather unfortunate that's coming out from 𝗪𝗧 and not from Lucid itself, but 𝗪𝗧 did post this saying that we're working closely with Uber and Lucid to integrate the 𝗪𝗧 driver with a growing fleet of Lucid Gravity engineering test vehicles, making fast progress towards the launch of our global robotaxi program. So in reality, this is good stuff. Like I said, it's unfortunate to see 𝗪𝗧 keep posting about this and Lucid not really doing anything. I feel like Lucid really needs to get a shock and start hyping up its investors. They're doing a pretty crappy job if you ask me. But nonetheless, I think this is good. Of course, as what we learned from their last earnings, all of this is going to start commencing in the second half of 2026. So it's interesting to see that 𝗪𝗧 is talking about the Lucid Gravity engineering test vehicles, because based on the timing of when these deliveries are going to commence, I thought they would be for the midsize, but looks like they are going to be for the Gravity. I personally didn't think that Uber would be interested in the Gravity just based on the price point, that they'd want midsize. So this added a little bit of extra insight, but the timing of this, which was posted yesterday morning, and what is affecting Tesla, it's just not necessarily the best. So unfortunately, Lucid is falling by the wayside. And at the time of doing this video, Lucid is also breaking below the 50-day moving average. And we all know what that kind of means. Shorts. So shorts are currently increasing 369,000 shares. 30.4% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 38 million shares. So unfortunately, we did get back above that 30. Yesterday, when I did my video, we were at 29.5, I think, something like that. Still, DTC sitting at 3.14 days still does signal that shorts are very, very overextended. Moving on to options, 943,000 in calls, 406,000 in puts. 52% of all the options being done were bullish in nature. And there was actually one thing that I did post yesterday because I saw it was very abnormal, but there was this right here. So there was a 1.33 million premium put that was sold. So in case you don't know options, when someone is selling a put, that does mean that if the stock is below that strike price, which was $22, they buy it. If it goes above it, they get to keep the premium. So it's rather bullish. So in general, there was this that was done yesterday. So meaning big money is anticipating by January 2026, it will be above $22. So still, despite today's push lower, big money is still feeling like there's going to be a little bit of a recovery. From a bull standpoint, you see a consensus for it to be kind of around that above $22 mark. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub roughly between 21 and 21.50. So we're kind of on a key pivot right now, so we'll wait and see. But these are all the transactions occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. So 1.1 million, 1.09 11.49. Those are the big ones. One was done first thing, and so that's what did really kickstart the push lower. And then this one was at 11.30. Both are sells. So doesn't look like big money is really buying the Lucid dip today. Then these are all the transactions occurring on the dark pool. So if I hit refresh, based on the top down premiums, the highest is 896. So even does signal as well big money's not really paying attention to Lucid as much as I would have anticipated. Based on Lucid's numbers as well, we haven't really seen that much in new ratings, which is very, very odd. So most likely a lot of them are still waiting just to see how things do turn out. So again, we got that $10 sell that was done by CFRA Garrett, who has a 55% success rating, and then $26 hold by 𝗪𝗓𝗔, and I have no idea how he has a 58% success rating. But aside from that, with it at 21.27, it is trading between this R1 and the pivot. So in the next little bit, just watch for 21.19 to really hold. If not, you could see a little bit of a push lower, sub $20. 24.73 is going to be the next strong target / resistance, and I don't really see that being on the table over the next little bit. Aside from that, on the actual chart, at the time of doing this video, it is below that 50-day moving average. And so typically you need 2 consecutive days to really signal a trend. So definitely a lot of importance for tomorrow for it to fight back and get above that 21.50. So that is that 50-day moving average. Aside from that, because of the recent push lower and it bouncing off of that 25.23, you see stochastic RSI getting rather oversold. So that's kind of a good thing. If there is a good piece of news that does come out, you could see a little bit of a recovery. And based on the flow, you see a lot of algorithmic trading really making up for the majority of the volume. Nothing really crazy for news aside from kind of what I brought up. A lot of people are still bringing up, I guess, recent ratings, but now everyone is just waiting for Lucid's upcoming earnings. They want to hear sweet nothings, and they don't want to hear any negatives, such as reducing kind of the overall target for 2025, because technically they could do that, but we just have to kind of hope that management has everything under control. Looking at the market position, just comparing today versus yesterday, you see that willing buyers just went poof. So unfortunately, even looking where it is, there's not much crazy support. You have good support, I'd say, up to around 20.50, but if that does break, you could see a very quick push lower, similar to what happened here, right? Obviously, this is a little bit of a different scenario because I had the whole reverse stock split fear and stuff like that. So what's your general thoughts on Lucid? Are you buying the dip? Are you selling? What's your kind of general 2 cents on all of that? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point. Worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.